4 o'clock on your Monday afternoon. Thanks for joining us. We start with the trial of a former Greenwood Village police officer accused in shooting and killing a teenager will start tomorrow. Adam Holland stands charged with second-degree murder.
Aurora police said shots were fired during an argument over careless driving. 9 News crime and justice reporter Kelly Rinke spoke to the teen's father, who waited more than 2 years for a trial.
A case against a former Greenwood Village police officer centers around this doorbell camera. It shows an encounter Aurora police say began with an argument over careless driving. The video from the night before Thanksgiving 2021 captured the sound of gunshots, which Todd Blitzstein tries to avoid listening to.
But we all have listened to the beginning stages of it, and when we do hear it, it completely wrecks us.
The sound is the moment Adam Holland shot and killed 17-year-old Peyton Blitzstein. 2 years later, Holland is going to trial this week for second-degree murder.
We're finally there after 2+ years. So the family is definitely on the edge.
Family has been frustrated with the delays. Each day they waited, Holland has been out of jail on bond.
Where you've got Adam, who is on video killing a teenager, and he gets a $50,000 bond.
Court documents say Blitzstein shot first, and Holland returned fire.
It doesn't matter if he had a gun. He's defending his friends, and he didn't really have a choice.
Investigators say they believe Holland was the primary aggressor because he initiated contact with Blitzstein and his friends and chose not to drive away when things became more heated.
Adam put in a situation where if he didn't do that, who knows if any other friends are going to get shot that night.
Todd believes the video says it all, but it's up to a jury to decide if Holland should be held responsible for a teen's death.
We really want justice for Peyton.
Jury selection starts tomorrow, and the trial is scheduled to go through next Thursday. The trial date has been bumped at least twice. It didn't happen earlier because Holland had waived his right to a speedy trial. Tom.
Kelly, we talk more and more about video telling the story in cases like this. I imagine the video is the centerpiece when it comes to trying to put this in front of a jury.
Yeah, and even Peyton's father recognized that too. He isn't sure if this would have moved forward to a criminal case if that video was not available.
All right, Kelly, thanks.
And speaking of video, Aurora police will pay nearly $2 million in a settlement after a disturbing viral video showed officers holding a black family, including children, at gunpoint. The kids on the ground crying. This happened in August of 2020, shortly after social justice protests over George Floyd's death. Aurora police mistakenly identified their mother's car as stolen. Officers later pointed guns at several children, including a 6-year-old. They made them lie on the ground. The mother, Brittany Gilliam, sued the city of Aurora and 5 officers in 2021. A lawyer for her says they settled the lawsuit for $1.9 million. This was the first lawsuit filed in Colorado under a new police accountability law. The law allows state-level lawsuits against police to move forward.
There's an old and unwanted friend back in town today. Yeah, the brown cloud lurking. There you see it out east of downtown today. The temperature's warming up. The pollutants trapped near the surface, creating that familiar haze in the sky.
Yeah, we talk about this. Take a live look outside. We did get the sunshine today, and you probably heard drip, drip, dripping. Most of us did. A lot to melt, depending on where you live, Kathy.
Yeah, how much snow did you get?
Close to a foot.
Yeah? We got about 10 at our house, too, east of Parker.
Yeah,
Tom?
that's a lot.
Plenty. No, we didn't get that much, probably 6 or 8 inches down in the tech center. But, you know, we've all talked about it. It's that heavy, wet snow. It's not the normal snow we see in February.
I know. We all last week were talking about very typical of a March storm, a warmer storm with that concrete snow that's so hard to shovel. And the southern jet stream is so active that we're going to see more energy coming off the coast of California toward Colorado and, of course, Las Vegas, Nevada, Super Bowl there as well. So a lot of water coming our way yet again, but not today. Today we have sunshine, a couple of high clouds, not toasty warm out there, but comfortable. Mid-40s in Denver. That's actually seasonal for this time of year. We're going to go warmer tomorrow. Winds increasing out of the south as a storm system begins to take shape off the coast of California. It's going to come toward Colorado in pieces. One wave will cross on Wednesday, bringing mountain snow showers and maybe a stray shower to Denver. The second part or main core of the system will be here Saturday. Saturday will be colder with maybe some light accumulating snow, so we're certainly watching that. All of the snow is just outside our state's border for now, but advisories for snow going up for the the southern mountains. Tuesday through Thursday, we'll be measuring the snow in feet in the San Juan and Saguache range. So if your travels take you to Telluride or Ouray, yay you! But pay attention to the forecast because this is going to be an area that we'll be looking at really, really heavy snow this week. And so in Denver tonight, we've got high clouds moving through, a few more high clouds around tomorrow. But even with that high cloud deck, it'll be a warmer day. Actually, the next couple of days, we've got a lovely evening out there. But coming up, I'm going to give you the timing of the midweek storm, the weekend storm, and really the big story is the mountain snow forecast. That's going to be our big story this week. So we're going to cover all that in just a bit.
Today in Colorado, a group consisting of Israeli officials and family members of people killed or kidnapped in the October 7th attack by Hamas were visiting the state capitol today. They met with the state Senate, but they were turned away from the House. According to our partners at Colorado Politics, Republican State Representative Ron Weinberg said last night that he had permission for the families to speak on the House floor. But according to Weinberg this morning, Democratic House Speaker Julie McCluskey told him the families could not enter the House chambers. She said she was worried about lawmakers acting appropriately and said she thought that bringing this issue into the chamber could hurt how lawmakers work together. The families were allowed in the Senate chambers, where Weinberg did address those in attendance. After months of negotiations, senators have released a bipartisan agreement, one that imposes tougher restrictions on immigration.
Senate leaders are promising a vote this week, but Republicans in the House may pump the brakes. NBC's Alice Barr has more from Washington.
A deal is on the table for some of Congress's most pressing national security priorities. $60 billion to back Ukraine's fight, $14 billion for Israel, and $4.8 billion to counter China's growing influence, along with the most complex step, $20 billion to address the crisis at the U.S. southern border. The bill would trigger a shutdown at the border if more than 5,000 migrants cross per day. It expands the number of detention facilities and toughens standards for migrants seeking asylum. But House GOP leadership today saying the bill, quote, fails in every policy area needed to secure our border and that it is dead on arrival in the House. The top Republican negotiator in the Senate, conservative James Lankford, urging his colleagues not to reject a chance for significant immigration reform after decades of gridlock.
When we had a Republican House, Republican Senate, and President Trump as president, we weren't able to pass border security pieces.
But former President Trump has vocally opposed the bill, calling it a trap to shift blame for the border to Republicans right before the election.
Well, there's a clear choice for Republicans. Fix the border or keep chaos at the border because it helps Donald Trump.
Pressed by NBC's Kristen Welker on Meet the Press, House Speaker Mike Johnson downplayed the former president's influence.
He's not calling the shots. I am calling the shots for the House.
A shot at helping to fix one of the most divisive issues in this country while supporting allies overseas now on the line. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And from news overseas, King Charles has been diagnosed with cancer. Buckingham Palace made the announcement earlier today. Doctors found a separate medical concern during recent surgery for an enlarged prostate. More tests confirmed he does have cancer. It's not clear what type of cancer or what stage it was. King Charles took the throne last May, months after the death of his mother, Queen Elizabeth II.
It is, of course, Super Bowl week. Engineers at CU Boulder are coming out with newly developed designs for padding that they say could change the way we protect ourselves. They've created a padding that they say can withstand big impacts, and it's material that can be 3D printed. It could eventually be used in everything from football pads to our bike helmets and maybe even highway crash barriers. The foam actually is a network of honeycombs. Researchers used a powerful machine to then squish it, and they found that it absorbed 6 times more energy than standard padding.
You know, if you're wearing padding, you've got the force that comes in, and then you've got a small region in which you can absorb that force. Then you've got, your body, whatever part. And so you want that region that's absorbing to absorb as much of it as it can in this limited space. But if you make a material that's really good at absorbing larger hits, it's not so good at absorbing smaller hits, or vice versa.
Yeah, it's complicated, but it's funny because you think in everyday life, padding that we use in vehicles or a bike helmet or something, that's valuable. I always worry about it in sports, though. The more we pad, the more we protect, the more violent the games become.
Violent, yeah.
They
Yeah.
become like, I'm indestructible.
Right.
So I'm going to
Right.
go head first into this.
And when you think of really younger children,
yeah.
they don't have that. Yeah, I don't know. They have a fearlessness about them.
It's nice that they're inventing it. Hopefully it's something that helps keep people safer.
Yeah, well, sometimes I need it just walking on ice in case I fall.
Really?
You know, want some extra padding.
Wear the bubble.
Yeah.
Bubble